addicts, man. You know, when you go out, and not like we were talking about earlier, man, fuck them crackers, I ain't tipping. You know? So like it, verse 10, it says, in 6 years shalt thou sow in thy land, that's a good one, and thou shalt gather the fruits thereof. But the 7th year thou shalt let it rest and lie still, that the poor of thy people may eat, and that they leave the breast of the field, the beasts of the field shall eat. In like manner thou shalt deal with thy vineyard and thy olive yard. So not only supposed to let the land rest, you know, but you're supposed to leave a piece, a portion for the poor and the animals, man. That's why you got fucking animals dying. That's why you got fucking people poor out here. You know, niggas be talking all that shit about giving their money up and getting kicked out, but who are you giving your tithes to? Who are you giving alms to, man? You know, these 2/3 of our people are selfish, man. They learned the way of the heathen, man. You know, that's why it says our wisdom is our the scriptures are knowledge in the sight of the nations. If thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, thou shalt not be to him as an usurer, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury or interest. Thou shalt not revile thou shalt not revile the gods, nor curse the ruler of thy people. You know, polite shooting up the Bible. These things are endless that they be breaking every fucking day, man. You know, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Whosoever lieth with the beast shall surely be put to death. He that sacrificeth unto any god, save unto the Lord only, he shall be utterly destroyed. What type of mindset is that when you get and sit in the video with polite and being league with him when he serve a different God, man? And he worship, not only worship, but he blasphemed the Most High, man. Okay? Ye shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child if thou afflict them in any wise, and they cry at all unto me, I will surely hear thy cry, and my wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall be widows, your children and your children fatherless. So what it's saying, the modern day widows and fatherless and the poor is the people that's walking out here without the truth, man. So it's important to keep the truth prevalent and pumping to feed the fatherless, man, and the widows. Okay? So I'm not gonna go on and on with it, but I want to finish this 24th chapter. All right.
Yeah, this is Exodus 24. And let's see. I'll start back at 3.
Mm-hmm.
And Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all the judgments, and all the people answered in one voice and said, all the words which the Lord has said we will do. And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord and rose up early in the morning and built an altar under the hill and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel.
Okay, so jump down to 7.
Verse 7. And he took the book of the covenant and read it in the audience of the people, and they said, all that the Lord has said we will do, and be obedient. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people, and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord has made with you concerning all these words. Then went up Moses and Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and they saw the Most High of Israel, and there was under his feet, as it were a paved work of the sapphire stone, and as it were the body of heaven in its clearness. And upon the nobles of the children of Israel he laid not his hand. Also they saw the Most High, and did eat and drink.
So at the end of the day, Moses made a covenant with Israel with the book of the covenant, which is basically the laws of the promises, things like that. But the laws that were written within, without, the things that the examples I was just reading, and the list goes on and on. These are it's a long ass list, man. It goes it's forever, man. It's forever, and it goes on and on, man. And basically, if you read, I don't even know where to begin with it. I can't even say, I could say chapter 18 or something like that. Somewhere around that area. But basically, these are just codes of ethics. Just how to operate, how you supposed to, how you supposed to carry yourself as an Israelite, man. And if you read it, you'll say, man, fucking 2/3 don't keep none of these, man. Or neither are they mindful to do so. Okay, so let's get back to Psalms 78. And that's why I read, it says in Psalm 78 and 36, it nevertheless they did flatter with their mouths, flatter with him with their mouths, and they lied unto him with their tongues, for their heart was not right with him, neither were they steadfast in his covenant. So let's look up that word steadfast in chapter 78 and 37.
The Hebrew word iman, which means to support, confirm, be faithful, support, uphold, nourish, foster father, foster mother, pillars, supporters of the door.
In this society, they don't support the order, the Most High, Yahweh Shai, man, woman, children. They don't support the laws of marriage. They don't support paying tights. All the niggas that be having problems, one of the first things they like to complain about is when brothers pay tights, man. You're giving your money up and try to give all the reasons. It's always a good reason to not do anything, man. Like you pay your 10%. The Most High ain't asking you for no fucking 60% like the so-called white man is. They barely complain about that, man. Want to talk shit about the apostles? It's the same thing, man. They wasn't talking shit when the Egyptians probably was hooking up. They probably was with that shit. They probably hooking up with Egyptians up in there to try to make it out. But as soon as they see Moses with a Hamitic woman, they got something to say, man. And what the Most High do? He fucking marry him up, man. For an example to everybody that was complaining, man. Go ahead.
God, this is verse 37. It says, "For their heart was not right with them."
It's a little
also
at the bottom.
Yeah.
It says to trust, to be certain, to believe in.
Yep. To be certain and to believe in. To trust, to be certain and to believe in. Okay. They don't do that toward the covenant of the Most High. From the food, the Sabbath, the land. These things they don't trust and believe in. They don't uphold it, but they're quick to say, "Oh yeah, I love the Lord with all my heart." You don't know how much you love the Lord by your intentions toward keeping the covenant, and your intentions toward serving Him, and your intentions toward continuing. Go ahead.
This is Psalm 78, verse 37. It says, "For their heart was not right with them, neither were they steadfast in his covenant. But he, being full of compassion, forgave their iniquity and destroyed them not. Yea, many a time turned he his anger away, and did not stir up all his wrath. For he remembered that they were but flesh, a wind that passeth away, cometh not again." It says, "How oft did they provoke him in the wilderness, and grieve him in the desert? Yea, they turned back and tempted the Most High and limited the Holy One of Israel. They remembered not his hand, nor the day when he delivered them from the enemy.
That's right. All this, how niggas is talking about people in slavery and think, well, what guy you think we served before slavery? Man, we clearly served Hebrew Israelite power, man, so to speak. Elisha Kodash. But we served Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. Alright? We wasn't dealing with all that Egyptology shit. How can you tell us from the fucking, not from the fucking, but from the slave hymns, man? Okay, them people were singing that when they really couldn't read, man. You know? There's a lot of things that Esau beat into us, but that shit took time, man. That shit took generations for them to beat into us, man. You see what I'm saying? They didn't make it through slavery with the shit that they beat into them. They made it through slavery with the hopes of their past, with reminiscing of their past, man. The good old days. You know? That's why they were singing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, man. Not because they beat that into them and that reminded them on how to get through. Because, you know, nobody ain't that stupid, man. They were reminiscing, man, the Lord gonna come get me out of this, man. You know? Because they knew about how we got out of it before, man. Niggas be playing and acting like they on some deep shit, and when they get into, oh man, what we did before we did that. You know, it's like common sense what we did before we did that. Don't try to justify being a fucking, acting like you're a damn Hamite, man. You fucking playing, man. All you niggas out there, you fucking playing, man. You know? Acting like you free because you out a GMS, man. Or something like that, man. You niggas is playing, man. The most I gonna fuck y'all up, man. Go ahead.
It says how he had wrought his signs in Egypt and his wonders in the field of Zoan.
Mm-hmm.
And he turned their rivers into blood and their floods that they could not drink. He sent diverse sorts of flies among them, which devoured them, and frogs which destroyed them. He gave also their increase unto the caterpillar, and their labor unto the locust. He destroyed their vines with hail, and their sycamore trees with frost. He gave up their cattle also to the hail, and their flocks to the hot thunderbolts. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels among them. He made a way to his anger. He spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence, and smote all the firstborn in Egypt, the chief of their strength in the tabernacles of Ham.
Yeah, so the Most High is gonna fuck America up just like that, man. He got them all fucked up now, man. Ain't no water damn near. You know, the reservoirs are drying up. You know, you know they got a reservoir leaving Nebraska somewhere around here, man. Shit's drying up, man. People really don't even know what reservoirs are anymore, man. You know, but the basic people, you know, but them country ass rednecks and them rich elite, they know. But them shits is drying up too, man. They said one of them only got a certain amount of years before it dries up. You know. Go ahead.
It says, but made his own people to go forth like sheep, and guided them in the wilderness like a flock.
Mm-hmm.
And he led them on safely so that they feared not. But the sea overwhelmed their enemies. And he brought them to the border of the sanctuary, even to the mountain which his right hand had purchased. He cast out the heathen also before them, and divided them in inheritance by line, and made the tribes of Israel to dwell in their tents. Yet they tempted and provoked the Most High.
All that. These two-thirds do turn around and tempt and provoke the Most High. The Most High got prophets coming out on the highways and byways, and you talking shit, man. You got brothers out there doing the work, and because you got a problem on the inside like Yakanan, because you got a personal problem, you want to try to go fucking all out onslaught against the prophets, man. Because some personal shit, like them, you know. That's all this. The Most High woke you up taught you through the apostles, and then soon something happens to you, or you get in a comfortable spot, you go to talking shit again, man. You know?
And kept not his testimonies, but turned back and dealt unfaithfully like their fathers. They were turned aside like a deceitful boat, for they provoked him to anger with their high places, and moved him to jealousy with their graven images. And the Most High heard this, he was wroth and greatly abhorred Israel.
Mm-hmm. Abhorred just means hated. So it's that what Jake does with these churches, the graven images with the ankhs, the crosses, the pictures, the statues, things of that nature, man. Okay, go ahead.
It says, so that he forsook the tabernacle of Shiloh, the tent which he placed among men, and delivered his strength into captivity, and his glory into the enemy's hand.
Yep, and the enemy right now is talking about the Edomites, you know, land of Babylon, America. You know, our tents are placed in the middle of this motherfucker now. You know, in the middle of the enemy, man. Okay, go ahead.
He gave his people over also to the sword, and was wroth with his inheritance.
Hey, man, the same thing, man. Okay, that's why Jake getting laid out like how they getting laid out, man. Going overseas and on over here, man. No matter where they go, man. Venezuela, what they're going through, all that, man. You know? Go ahead.
It says, the fire consumed their young men, and their maids were not given to marriage. Their priests...
Yeah, these bitches out here, hoes, man, Instagram thoughts and shit. You know? They're not faithful. They're more faithful to money than they're faithful to actual productivity to life. You know, which is reproduction and having a family. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, their priests fell by the sword, and their widows made no lamentation. Then the Lord awaked as one out of sleep, and like a mighty man that shouted by reason of wine. And he smote his enemies in the hinder parts. He put to them a perpetual reproach. Moreover, he refused the tabernacle of Joseph, and chose not the tribe of Ephraim, but chose the tribe of Judah, the Mount Zion which he loved.
So at the end of the day, Judah became the head tribe. Because Ephraim was the head tribe at a point, man. You know, which they still have a portion, but really it's Judah, the Most High put Judah in the stead, man. And look at Judah, man. They're wilding, man. You know, but at the end of the day, Judah's going to be the ones that get their mind right. You know, because here it is with the Dakota pipelines, man. All that shit, you know, they be doing all that protesting, and then these motherfuckers going to vote, do this. You natives, you know, you Gadites been doing through all that shit, man. You still believing in the American system, protesting and all that shit, man. Voting and going to this event, trying to get America to straighten their act out, man. The fuck is wrong with y'all, man? Go ahead.
This is, and he built his sanctuary like high palaces, like the earth which he had established forever. He chose David also his servant, and took him from the sheepfolds, from following the ewes great with young. He brought him to feed Jacob his people, and Israel his inheritance. So he fed them according to the integrity of his heart, and guided them by the skillfulness of his hands.
Yep. So basically, the Most High, through all that, always have grace upon Israel to get us out there. And then when he shows grace, 2/3 just act up, man. And then then niggas don't even be mindful of the scourges, man. You know? And the basic, like I said, the basic character of the 2/3 is they're fickle, they're not stable, they're unmerciful, undisciplined, they don't have no ethics and morals, they don't know how to act, man. You know? And you can see it in today's time. The ones that was roaming around in Egypt, that are the same ones that are here roaming around today, man. And the Most High is going to do the same thing he did to them. He's going to fuck them up, wipe them out, and just leave a remnant, man. He's going to leave that cluster, you know. And Lord willing, we get to go over that. I believe in the book of Isaiah, Jeremiah, talking about that great cluster, man. You know, also 1 and 2 Ezra. You know, it's about that time, man. About to start identifying the enemies and the elect. It's time of separation, man. You know? With that being said, I'm going to say, call Allah to y'all by Shemi Ashai, double answer apostles, elders, with that GMS. Blessed salutations out to you brothers out there teaching and doing work in truth and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.